تم بدء التسجيل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum. I welcome all of you to the 5th week of virtual meetings of Introduction to Information Systems course. As I understand from all of you, the face-to-face classes would have started this week, inshallah, or if there are some problems, they may start within the next week. We have the faculty now. In all of the campuses, we will be teaching this course in the respective campuses. So, from this week onwards, we will dedicate this particular class to the chapter discussion in such a way that we can cover one chapter every week in summary, so that all of you can also get a second reading of this course along with your instructor in your face-to-face class. Also, during this time, when we will conclude one chapter, we will discuss the questions that you may have in your mind about what we have studied from your face-to-face teacher or during this class. So now, it is not necessary for you to attend this class. You can download the recordings of the contents that we have discussed here. You can read those contents at your own convenience and discuss things with your teacher. So you have now two supports, one in the form of the virtual meeting that I will be holding here, and second, that is the basic communication, that is with your teacher in your face-to-face class. In our today's class, we will conclude discussion about chapter 2. So we will have a summary of what chapter 2 offers. Hopefully, all of you will be able to understand it. And when you go into your own class with your own teacher, you can easily understand what she is teaching you. And you can also ask questions if you have any confusions. You can also ask questions to me during this virtual class. So, starting our chapter number 2. This chapter number 2 is the first core chapter of this course. In this chapter, some important definitions and concepts about information systems have been given. So, we will touch upon those concepts and those definitions for your convenience during this class. So let me just open the contents and I will start. I will get back to you within a minute. Starting from the learning objectives of this course, this chapter. This chapter talks about various kind of strategies that businesses adopt to be ahead of their competitors, to offer better services to their customers, to be in a very good relationship with their suppliers. Actually, summing all of this together, this chapter talks about how an organization can gain advantage, competitive advantage, while doing business. And this chapter also talks about how information systems can help in getting that advantage for your organization. This is the learning objectives of this course given in slide number 2 and slide number 3. Now slide number 5. Slide number 5 is the first slide of this chapter. In the slide number 5, it has been told that 10 or 15 years ago, the businesses designed themselves in such a way when anyone thought of creating a new business, he thought of a lot of things, like where he should establish his shop, where he should establish his office, what kind of human resource he should hire, what kind of services or products that business should offer, who are the competitors, what those competitors are offering. This is chapter number 2 of your book. that we are studying today. All of these things they thought, but they did not thought about what kind of software they should have, what kind of software they should have, what kind of IT equipment they should have, whether internet can help them or not. But for today's business to survive against competition, today they have to think of all of this as well when designing their business. If they will not think how internet, information technology and information systems help them, they will not be able to get any benefit of their business. Actually, they will lose against their competitors. This is what has been told in the slide number 5. Slide number 6 says that now there is a concept of strategic information architecture. Strategic information architecture means that when you are planning your business, you plan your IT infrastructure in such a way that it can give you a lead against your competitors. It can give you an advantage against your competitors. You design your IT infrastructure in such a way that it gives you advantage against your competitors. Very important slide, slide number 7. It tells you what particular forces, what particular stakeholders or actors force you to make a strategic information architecture. What are those competitive forces? Number 1, your competitors. You need an information architecture. You need IT infrastructure and information systems to be ahead of your competitors. Because if you don't have such kind of services that you can offer to your customers and your competitors have, then your competitors will be efficient than you, will be effective than you, and will be productive than you. So they will earn more profit. And if your competitors are earning more profit, it means you are losing your profit because they are eating on your profit. So rivalry of your competitors force you to have good information systems. Similarly, there are competitors whom you are competing right now, but there will be competitors who will be entering the market at any time. They are new entrants. New entrants have a lot of cash in their hand, so they can offer even better services than yours. So the fear of losing your market to new entrants force you to develop information architecture. There may be times when the businesses will be substituted. Like your competitors force you to offer a new service. Your competitors or new entrants force you to offer new services, or you have to change the dimensions of your business. It can happen anytime. So if you have to substitute something because your competitors and new entrants and your customers are demanding that makes you to have a new information system. Similarly, if you have competition against you, there are other people who are doing the same business that you are doing, your customers have the option of leaving you and going to your competitors. You have to keep your customers associated with you. You have to keep your customers loyal with you. If you want to keep your customers loyal with you, you have to be effective and you have to be productive. For that, you need some kind of information architecture. Similarly, your suppliers, if you don't keep good relations with your suppliers can change themselves. They can change from you and go to your competitors. That is another force which forces you to have a good information architecture. Next thing, what kind of strategies do businesses adopt to get that strategic advantage? Very important part. There are 5 major strategies that businesses adopt to gain the advantage over their competitors. The first strategy is called cost leadership strategy. In this strategy, you design your architecture, your business, and your information system in such a way that your cost is always less than your customers, while your quality is not compromised. That is called cost leadership. Means With cost perspective, your business is more efficient than your competitors. You are delivering cost-effective solutions, but the quality is not compromised. The quality is still the same, but the cost is less. So if you offer the same quality product at less cost, your business will be successful. Information systems can help you in implementing the cost leadership strategy. The second strategy is called differentiation strategy. In this strategy, you offer such products which are different from the products of your competitors. You offer them a better quality product at the same cost. So in the first strategy, your cost is less, but the quality is same. In the second strategy, your cost is equal, but the quality is 5. So in the same cost, you offer a better product that can help you in competition and you can do better. The third strategy is innovation. You offer something totally new, something that your competitors don't have. You innovate, you make some new product. That new product attracts your customers. Like if your competitors are making stick soaps, bar soaps, you start making detergents. If your competitors start making detergents, you start making liquid soaps. You start innovating. So when you innovate, your customers are attracted to you. You become more competitive. The fourth strategy is growth strategy. In this strategy, you enhance your profile. You enhance your portfolio. For example, you introduce new products in your business. You are running a supermarket, let's suppose, and you add a medicine section in there. You add a pharmaceutical section in there. You add another new section like cosmetic section. You add a household item section. You grow. You have one supermarket. You open another supermarket. You open another supermarket. You go virtual. You start online business. That is called growth strategy. That if your competitors are offering a limited number of products or services, you start growing. You start adding new services to your customers, so that your customers, instead of thinking that okay, I go to your competitor but he doesn't have a medicine section, but if he goes to you, you have a medicine section, he will come to you because he can get more products under one roof. This is called growth strategy. Information systems can help in growth strategy as well. Aligned strategy. Aligned strategy is such kind of strategy when you make alliance with your competitors, so that your competitors do not remain your competitors, they become your business associates. So now you don't have competition with them, instead all of you share the same profit. So information systems can help you in identifying with whom you should make alliance, with whom you should merge your business, with whom you should compete, and with whom you should cooperate. These are 5 major strategies that businesses adopt to gain advantage over their competitors, over new entrants, over substitutes, and to maintain very good relation with their customers and with their suppliers. In the next slide, a graphical representation of the same concepts have been given. On the x-axis, competitive forces have been shown, and on the y-axis, various competitive strategies have been shown that we have just discussed. In the slide number 9, various other strategic initiatives have been shown which different kind of businesses can adopt. You see, first strategy that has been given here is called locking in strategy. In locking in strategy, you try to lock in your customers and your suppliers while you try to lock out your competitors. What do we mean by locking in? Locking in means to offer such kind of incentives or initiatives or devising such kind of strategies through which your customers cannot leave you. For example, you see in a lot of businesses, in a lot of markets, you have the concept of loyalty card. For those people who have loyalty cards, those businesses offer some discounts. some advantages. So people who have loyalty cards are asked to make certain amount of purchase to get that advantage. So people make business with you, they stay with your business because they know that you are offering them some discount against a certain number of purchases that they are making. Similarly, for example, all of you may have encountered the concept of frequent flyer that many airlines offer. So what's the advantage of frequent flyers? Frequent flyer helps the airlines to lock in their travelers. The people travel with a particular airline so that they can gain more miles and then they can get advantage over their reservations and over their tickets. Similarly, locking in suppliers means you offer some such kind of agreement to your supplier that they are attracted to doing more and more business to you. For example, you ask your supplier that you will buy at least this much amount of equipment from him if he only does business with you. Doesn't do business with your competitors. And locking out competitors means opposite. You devise such kind of strategies that your competitors cannot know. Your competitors cannot know what kind of strategic initiatives you are adopting. Just like Google. Google has a page search algorithm that it calls page rank algorithm. Now they don't let their competitors know about this algorithm. They are locking out the competitors. Their competitors don't know how Google works to give the users a better search. By locking out their competitors, Google ensures that the people always search from Google instead of going to other search engines. This is called locking out. Another strategic initiative that can be adopted is switching the cost. This initiative can be understood by the concept that any business that is running today has many cost heads. For example, there is a cost head through which the human resource is paid. So that is one cost, human resource. The second cost is equipment that they have bought. The third cost is infrastructure that they have established. The fourth cost is administrative responsibilities that they are handling. So there are many costs. When a business wants to get a competitive strategic advantage over their competitors, they see from where they can cut the cost and where they should apply more cost. For example, I am running a business and I see that I'm not earning good enough profit. So I see whether I can cut down on my cost somewhere, and I see that my infrastructure is very expensive. So I replace my infrastructure with cheaper infrastructure and I save cost from there, and the cost that I have saved, I spend it on buying better services so that my customers are happier customers. This is called switching cost. The next strategy for getting the strategic advantage that can be achieved through the introduction of information systems is to raise the barriers to entry. Means you are doing business and you already have competition. Now you don't want new competitors to enter. So you start offering so many quality products and quality services that any new one who wants to enter the market knows that if he has to compete with you, he will have to spend a lot. So instead of entering that market, that competitor enters another market where he has to not spend that much to earn the equal amount of profit. So you raise the barrier to entry, you discourage new entrants by offering so much quality that they fear entering this market. And the last point, as you can see, is to invest in IT. So this point, as your book will also tell you, that if you invest in IT, you get all of the competitive strategic advantages that we have just mentioned. With the introduction of IT, you can compete good against your competitors. you can be cost effective, you can differentiate, you can innovate, you can lock in your customers and suppliers, you can lock out your competitors, you can raise the quality of your product so much that your new entrants don't enter. If you introduce an information system, you can achieve all of these strategic advantages. In the next slide, all of this has been summarized, how we can lower the cost using IT, how can we differentiate, how can we innovate, how can we promote growth, and how we can develop alliances, and how IT can help us in that. In the slide number 11, some companies examples have been given who achieved these strategies using information systems and information technologies. I will just take one example. For example, for the cost leadership, the companies which achieved cost leadership include Dell Computers, Priceline.com and eBay.com. So what did they do? For example, instead of developing shops and spending money on developing shops and stores and display centers, these companies started online ordering systems. So that is an information system. With the help of online ordering, on one hand, they attracted a lot of customers who did not like to drive to their store and buy equipment. So those customers simply logged in on the ordering system and asked the company to provide them with the equipment that they desired. So their customer base increased, and at the same time they saved the cost of establishing stores, establishing display centers, hiring human resource on those stores and display centers, and first shipping the products to the stores from their inventory and then shipping again from the store to the customer. So all of these costs were saved. When these costs were saved, they reduced the cost of their products. With reduced cost and same quality, more customers bought products from them. More units were sold. So this strategy worked for them. Similar is the case with other strategies that you see in this particular slide. In the next slide, again, the same other strategies have been told, which we have just discussed. In slide number 13, the case study of doing has been given. The case study of doing is the first case study of chapter 2 in your book. In this case study, it has been told that Boeing had to spend a lot on their imaging services. For example, they had to take image of the people who bought tickets and then use the image on print tickets and then use the image on their airports and check-in counters and all of that stuff. So instead of doing that imaging activity manually, paper-based imaging activity, they integrated it in their information system. So their employees' images were part of the information system, their customers' images, their representatives' images, all of the images were used, retrieved, and maintained in the information system. They did not have to take prints. Wherever their employees were, they could access the imaging service online because it was part of the information system. They saved so much cost that their new lines, the cost of selling new aeroplanes to their customers reduced, and with this reduced cost they were able to compete with their competitors, mainly Airbus. So this is the first case study that is present in chapter 2. Slide number 14 talks of further two terms that are very important. One term is competitive advantage and the other term is competitive necessity. What is competitive advantage? Now listen very carefully. If there are two businesses, one business A innovates, makes something new or adopts some new strategy which business B has not adopted. And this new strategy, this new innovation gives him advantage over the business B. This is the competitive advantage of business A. If a business does something which their competitors haven't done and it takes advantage of that, it is called competitive advantage. And if business B has to follow business A, if business B wants to compete with it, it is forced to follow the same strategy that business A has used, then it is the competitive necessity of business B. If a business innovates something and use it for their advantage, it is called competitive advantage. If some business has to follow some other business, if it wants to remain in the business, it is called competitive necessity. Now remember that every competitive advantage becomes the competitive necessity of the other businesses. For example, if there are three businesses, business A, business B and business C, and business A has innovated some which has become its competitive advantage, then this competitive advantage of business A becomes the competitive necessity of business B and business C. Also remember that once all of the businesses start following the same thing, the competitive advantage is lost. For example, if there are three businesses, business A, business B and business C, and business A has got competitive advantage, it has become competitive necessity for business B and business C to make the same innovation. When they have made the same innovation, the competitive advantage of business A is finished, is lost, because now all of them have the same thing. It is no more innovation. So now they will have to make a new innovation to get competitive advantage, or someone else will make a new innovation to get the competitive advantage. This is the relationship between competitive advantage and competitive necessity. In slide number 15, you see the relationship between competitive advantage and competitive necessity. So some business makes an innovation and that business gets the competitive advantage as a result. So now when they get the competitive advantage, they are earning better than their competitors. Their competitors start asking why they are earning better than us. They learn of the innovation that the business has made. This is called organizational learning. Now all the organizations know why the other organization is getting competitive advantage, so they start implementing the same innovation in their own businesses as well. It becomes their competitive necessity. When all of the organizations have implemented the innovation, then no one has competitive advantage. So we need to innovate again if we want to get the competitive advantage for us. In the slide number 16, it has been told that some people think that if they reduce the price of a product, they will sell more and they will earn better profit. In the slide number 16, it has been told that reducing the price cannot guarantee that you get the strategic advantage. Instead, you have to enhance the quality of the product to enhance your value or the value of your product before your customer. So quality and not the price is the primary factor for your customer. That is why when we were talking about cost efficient and differentiation strategies, we said cost efficient means to deliver the same quality. You cannot compromise on quality. Developing the same quality at the reduced price. And differentiation means to develop even good quality at the same price. So price is not of concern. If I am selling something but its quality is poor, my customers will not come to me. Let's suppose I have an online reservation system which guarantees that my customers get the lowest price tickets for airlines. So the people will come to me to get the lowest price tickets for the airlines. Now people start making reservations and I have a poor quality service, and while people are making reservations, my system reloads 2-3 times. making the user to enter the data again and again. Now, although I am offering lowest price tickets, but my user will be so irritated that he will leave me. He will go to another service. That service may not have the lowest price ticket, but that service is of good quality. It does not break down. It records the entries very efficiently. Now their quality is better, their customers will be more loyal to them. My quality is poor, so my customers will leave me even if my price is low. In order to be cost efficient, in order to be competitively ahead of my customers in terms of quality, not of price, I need internet technology. As we will see further, with the help of IT and information systems, the quality of our products increases. The quality of our services increases, while the cost of our products remains the same or even low. Good quality product at low price or same price will be what attracts my customers. My customers will be happy to use my service if my quality is good, and internet can play an important role in that. That has been told in slide number 16. In slide number 17, it has been told which particular ways can I attract my customer. Can I keep my customer attracted to my company? For example, you will see all of the converted rectangles are different steps that I can use with the help of my information system, which has transaction database and customer database. For example, to give my employees a complete view of each customer. This is one service that I can give to my employees with the help of my information systems. So whenever a new customer comes, my employees know what are their preferences. So they can offer the same products to them which they require. My customers will be pleasantly surprised. They will be happy to know that my employees know them, that my employees know what they want, and they will like to come back again to such an efficient service. This is a competitive advantage that you can get. Similarly, for example, you see, build a web community of customers, employees and partners. Instead of your employees having to phone every supplier or your customers having to come on your store every time to see what you are offering, you develop a web-based solution where your customers can come and see what is available at your shop. This saves a lot of time of your customers, so your customers become happy. They feel that you are taking care of them. Instead of they coming to the shop and then knowing that you don't have the product, they are sitting in their home and they know whether you have the product or not, and they can also make a decision about whether they want to buy an alternate product from your store or not, will make them more loyal to you. So these are some examples. If you have a management information system, with the help of management information system, you can offer this kind of services to your customers, to your competitors, so that they feel happy with you and they do more business with you. Universal Orlando is your second case study of the book that is given here. In this case study, it has been told how Universal Orlando used the customer data, as was shown in the previous slide, to know what their customers want, what are their customers' preferences, what their customers like and what their customers don't like. So they did not need to ask anyone to tell them what they should have in their stores and what they should not have in their stores. Based on that customer data, they offered better products to their customers. Every time the customers came, they found that store took more care of them. Store hosted more related products as against more non-related products. And those customers were happy. They were satisfied. The store also knew what particular price their customers want to pay. So it offered products in that price range. The customers were even more happy with that. This is how, using information systems, businesses can take that strategic advantage which has been told in this chapter. Now, very important slide, slide number 19. It talks of value chain. Value chain describes various components of the business that should be handled through management information systems. Various components or various processes of the business which should be handled through a good management information system if you want to get the competitive advantage over your competitors. These components or processes can be divided into two categories. One category is called primary business processes. These are those business processes which are the core operations of any business. For example, if you are running a superstore, your core business operations are selling the goods to your customers, taking payments from your customers, housing your store with the goods that your customers want, taking shipments from your suppliers, delivering products to your customers. These are your primary business processes. That is what your business does. So you can see here inbound logistics, receiving supplies from your suppliers, customer operations, selling goods to your customers, making transactions with your customers, tracking records of the payments. Outbound logistics, supplying products to your customers, marketing of the products that you are selling, sales team, customer service, all of these are primary business processes. Support processes are those processes which are not your core operations but which facilitate your core operations. For example, if you are running a superstore, along with the sales staff, you also have some clerks. Those clerks maintain records. Those clerks are not actually selling the product. They are simply maintaining the records. But if they don't maintain the records, your salesmen cannot sell the product. Your suppliers cannot know what you want. These are called support processes. These are also important processes, but these are not the core processes. So in the support processes, for example, you see administrative coordination. For example, there is a store superintendent. That store superintendent is recording data about the sales progress. He is not selling the product. He is part of the support process activity. Similarly, human resource management. There are people who are responsible for delivering salaries to the sales staff, for hiring the new staff, for retrieving the staff, etc. They are not the core operations, but they are responsible for human resource management. They are your support process and similar other processes. So if you want to have a management information system which is really beneficial for your client, you have to at least automate these processes, these components in your management information system. Then it will make a value chain. Then the management information system will help you in cost leadership. It will help you in differentiation. It will help you in innovation. It will help you in locking in your customers. It will help you in locking in your competitor, locking in your suppliers and locking out your competitors. If any of these components or processes is not part of your management information system, then it will not be able to give you that strategic advantage that every business wants. So in the slide number 20, value chain examples, the value chain and strategic IS support processes that we have just mentioned, and in slide number 20, support processes and value chain examples have been given. In slide number 22, it has been told that your management information system can do two things. You can have a management information system which only does the first thing. The first thing is compulsory for any management information system. That is, your management information system only supports everyday operations, like your sales staff is recording the transactions. That is a management information system. You are recording the attendance of your human resource staff. That is part of management information system. So if it only supports the day-to-day operations, it is a management information system, but it is not giving you that strategic advantage. If you want to get the strategic advantage, then you have to design your information system in such a way that it can guide you about what new innovation to make. It can guide you how to lock in your customers. It can guide you how to switch the cars. So for a management information system to be of real competitive advantage value to you, you need to have everyday operations as well as major competitive differentiators that we just mentioned, strategies included in your management information system. So if you want to have only everyday operations, those can be achieved through the diagram shown in slide number 19. But if you want to have a competitive advantage based on this value chain, you need to have support for all of the competitive strategies that we mentioned at the start of this chapter. Now, you can have this competitive advantage through two ways. If you want to develop a management information system which gives you that strategic edge over your competitors, you can either go for business process improvement or you can go for business process re-engineering. What do we mean by business process improvement? Well, if you are making an information system for your client definitely has some kind of business for which they want an information system, and that business follows some processes. You make an information system in such a way that you don't change the processes of your client. You only make an information system which enhances the efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity of the existing processes. You make an information system which does not change the processes of your client. It only enhances the efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity of your client. This is called business process improvement. But if you make an information system which changes the processes of your client's business, introduces new processes, discards some old processes, changes the way the process is performed, it is called business process re-engineering. If you go for business process re-engineering, it can give you much more bigger advantage and much more bigger profit than business process improvement. If you change the whole strategy, the way your organization is doing business, that can give you a lot of profit, but if it goes wrong, it can create even bigger failure. For example, take the example of IBM. IBM is a major name in hardware development. They make a lot of desktop computers as well. In their desktop operations, they went for business process re-engineering, and their business process re-engineering went so bad that they had to sell their desktop computers operations to Lenovo. So now IBM markets the computers which are made by Lenovo. Second example is Yahoo. Yahoo has been doing business process re-engineering since 2003. Before 2003, they were the most profit earning IT organization online. Today, after 7-8 years of business process re-engineering, they still have not been able to be the leading profit earning organization, although they still attract the largest number of online crowd, but their business process re-engineering has not worked. So if you do business process re-engineering, if it is correct, it gives you a lot of profit. If it goes wrong, it can give you the similar amount of loss. In the slide number 24, various kind of things that happen if you go for business improvement and various kind of things that happen if you go for business process re-engineering have been given. So for example, with respect to level of change, If you go for business improvement, the level of change is very small because you are not changing the process. You are only enhancing its efficiency. It is incremental. But in business process re-engineering, level of change is radical. It is dramatic because you are changing the processes altogether. Similarly, for example, starting point. For starting point, if you develop an information system which does business improvement, it only is based on the existing processes. It has not changed any of the processes. But if you go for business process re-engineering, it requires altogether new processes. Similarly, for example, time required to develop information systems which go for business improvement is short because they are not changing anything. They don't require much training, they don't require much orientation, they don't require much analysis. So they develop information system in short intervals. But if you are going for business process re-engineering, the software will take a lot of time to develop because you will have to investigate, you will have to analyze which processes to retain, which processes to remove, which processes to change. Then you will have to train the human resource as well. So this requires a relatively long development time and similar properties for both of these strategies. When your clients want to have an information system, they have another question to answer. That question is, do they want an altogether new system to be built for them, or do they want to buy a system from the market? For example, there are management information systems developed by Oracle, management information systems developed by PeopleStaff, management information systems developed by SAP. There are so many management information systems in the market. Your client can either decide to get a new system developed for him or to go into the market and buy an existing information system. Both have their own advantages and their own disadvantages. If a customer wants to get a new system built for him, its major advantage is that when he has an altogether new system which his competitors don't have, he has a strategic advantage over them. He has something which others don't have, so he has innovated. He has strategic advantage, competitive advantage over his competitors. If what he has developed is right, according to his requirements and specifications, he will have competitive advantage over his customers. Second, he will pay only for what he needs. Like if you go to market and you buy something which is just there, maybe it meets your requirements, maybe it doesn't meet your requirement, but you will have to buy it anyway. No one is going to change it for you. But if you go to market and get something customized for you, it is only according to your needs. It's a lean product, it's an efficient product. These are advantages if you get an information system developed only for you. The disadvantages are, number one, you may end up with a product that has a lot of errors in it because it has not been tested before. If you go into the market and buy a product which is already in the market, it's a stable product. A lot of people are already using it, so a lot of errors have been removed. But if you get a product built for you, it is an altogether new product. In that case, it can have any number of errors. Second, it can be very expensive because only you are the one who is getting it developed. Developers will charge you a lot because they don't have anyone else to sell that. On the other hand, if you buy a product from the market, the advantage is that it is a stable product, it doesn't have errors in it. Second, it is maybe cost efficient, cost effective because it is a unit which has been sold to many other people as well. The disadvantage is that if you buy a product from market, you don't have competitive advantage over your competitors because your competitors are also using the same product. Like if you go to market and buy a SAP solution, a lot of other businesses are also using SAP solution. You don't have any advantage over them. Similarly, the product may have a lot of components which you do not need. This may also be a disadvantage. of buying. So you can decide, your customer can decide whether he wants you to develop a new product for him or he wants you to buy a product for him and install it in his business. Will be his decision. What is an agile company? After this, there are some small detail components which don't require too much reading or too much concepts. An agile company is one which is quick company, which responds to change quickly, which responds to the customers quickly, which responds to the competition quickly, which changes itself quickly, which modifies, which evolves itself quickly. If a company is an agile company, if it meets the changing needs of times, it will be a long-lasting company. So you see those companies which do business for a long time are such companies which change themselves, which innovate, which evolve, which make a lot of decisions based on the requirements, which keep their customers glued with them because they respond to customers quickly, because they help the customers meeting their needs quickly. It is an agile company. So, for example, take the example of IKEA. IKEA publishes a catalog every year which it provides to its customers so that they can make a decision on what to buy. Now, IKEA has been making those catalogs for many years. But then IKEA thinks that if I give a hard copy catalog to my customers, they look at the products, but they cannot see how much customization they can make. And then if they have to buy the product, they have to call us or come to our display center to book the product. So what IKEA does, IKEA thinks of a solution and makes an online interactive interface of the catalog where users can go, select the product, get the customization, see what is available and what is not, and then order from there, so that IKEA can ship the product to the customer's door and then customers can make online payment as well. Now if IKEA makes this kind of solution, it makes the customers happy, reduces the human resource required and keeps its accounts in order. This is an agile company because it has changed according to the needs. Not only it has retained the existing customers, but by adopting this strategy, it may have introduced many new customers as well. Such companies are called agile companies which respond to the change very quickly. So, a company can be agile if it is agile towards its customers, responds to the customers quickly, it is agile in its partnering, it looks for suppliers, it looks for the people with whom to establish alliances, and it has operational efficiency, reduces human resource burden, speeds up the processes, then it becomes an agile company. Agility can be achieved through 4 basic strategies: by gaining knowledge out of information, by maintaining advantage during change, by responding efficiently to customers, suppliers and competitors, and by making customers think that they are being treated well. All of these can be achieved through introduction of a good value-driven information system. These are various strategies that organizations can follow to make themselves agile. These have been presented in slide number 28, and also it has been told what your information system should contain. If your organization wants to achieve agility for customers, for partnering, for operational, what should be part of your information system? That has been told in slide number 28. Next concept, next small concept is how to create a virtual company. A virtual company is one company which uses internet to interact with its customers, with its suppliers, even with its competitors. It uses internet instead of traditional conventional location-based stores, and using that internet support, it provides products to its customers. That company is called a virtual company. A virtual company uses online resources to reduce its human resource cost, to reduce its infrastructure cost and to reduce its shipping cost. By reducing these costs, this company is able to offer more products and products of good quality at reduced price. So it can do the differentiation and it can do the cost leadership strategy at the same time. Various strategies that can be adopted by virtual companies are given on slide number 29. These are not very difficult to understand. You will understand them properly. If you look at slide number 30, this is the infrastructure of a virtual company. As you can see, various components of the virtual company are linked together via intranet. They don't have a physical space. They are connected with each other via intranet. So there may be distributors, there may be inventories, there may be goods stores, there may be logistic companies, but nothing is on ground. All of these are sitting in their own places. And then the company interacts with its customers, its suppliers, its distributors via extranets and internet. So even they don't have to come to you. Using internet and intranets, your customers, suppliers and distributors contact you. You communicate within your own company and then you provide products to your customers, while you actually don't have to maintain those products under one roof. This saves a lot of cost, and with the help of this, a virtual company is able to earn more than a regular company. So it gives them that strategic advantage. This can also only be achieved if you have an effective information management system which can do this. The next slide, the same things have been told, which we have just mentioned. The next slide, Cisco, a company's case study, the third case study of chapter 2 has been presented. In this case study, it has been told how Cisco has transformed itself from a physical company to a virtual company, and what advantages they hope they will accomplish when they become a company like this. This is a case study, a very simple case study that we will be studying. Then there are companies which are knowledge creating companies. If you want to get even more strategic advantage out of your management information system, then you have to realize that there are 3 levels of data. The first level is data itself, which is raw information scattered here and there. You cannot make any meaning of it. Then you develop a management information system and deploy it and give data to that system as input, and it generates information for you. Information is the arranged collection of data which is meaningful, right? But out of all of that information, some information is useful to you and some information is not useful to you. The information that is useful to you is knowledge. So if you can sift through the large pile of information efficiently, and you can know that this is my knowledge, this is my useful information, while your competitor is going through the information and trying to get out the knowledge, if you can get that knowledge efficiently than your competitor, quickly than your competitor, you get even more advantage. When your competitor doesn't know what is useful for him, you know it because you have the knowledge. Then before your competitor knows it, you have already made a product accordingly. You are selling that product while your competitor is still thinking. If you make management information system such that it not only provides you with the information that we have so far mentioned about your business, it also gives you knowledge. So it becomes an even more efficient management information system. So in the next slide, slide number 34, you see there are 2 kinds of knowledge: explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge is one which is right before you, somewhere written, somewhere present, and you know it is useful for you. Tacit knowledge is the knowledge which is hidden, which cannot be extracted unless you have not applied data mining on it. If you apply data mining, it gives you hidden patterns out of your information. If your management information system can extract that tacit knowledge, that your competitor's information system cannot extract, you have another strategic advantage over your competitor. So this is very important knowledge that should be extracted if you have developed a management information system such that it can create knowledge for you. This is the highest level of any management information system. If it can do the daily operations, non-strategic, can provide you support to become cost leader, to become differentiator, to provide innovation, number 2, strategic, and number 3, it can create knowledge for you. If you have such kind of management information system, this is the highest quality of information system. How you can create knowledge management, that is given in slide number 35, very simple slide. You have to follow these steps. First you need to have the knowledge of the organization, then you need to have data mining tools, and you need to have document management system as well to present the knowledge that you have created. So slide number 56, again some explanation of knowledge management systems have been given. Knowledge management systems goal has been given in slide number 37. And lastly, a case study of an organization which developed such management information system which had data mining involved in it, knowledge management involved in it has been presented. Not a very important component with respect to your course. And this is where the chapter 2 concludes. So now, and with this, we are also coming very close to the end of our today's hour as well. So I'm going to stop the recording.
تم إيقاف التسجيل.
Now let me again remind you that as your face-to-face classes have started, the purpose of these virtual meetings will change very soon. Right now, although we are studying in these virtual meetings, but the purpose of study is only to give you a second lecture of the lecture that you will get face-to-face with your teacher. Very soon, like after next week we will also study another chapter, but after next week, our focus will be on discussing questions that you may have with your teachers. That you may have studied a chapter with your teacher, and then you may like to clear some confusion. So we will discuss those confusions in these virtual meetings. Next week will be our last week when we will study a chapter in this virtual meeting. After that, we will not study any chapter in the virtual meetings. We will only discuss any confusions or questions that may arise. I hope all of you were able to understand what we have studied today. We have completed chapter 2 today. You will also study chapter 2 with your instructors and your face-to-face classes. So you can read all of those who have studied today, and then inshallah this week they have promised that all of the recordings will also be made available. So you will be able to download the recordings as well. Before you study with your teacher face-to-face chapter 2, you will be able to prepare questions. You will be able to understand the chapter properly. This will help you, I hope, inshallah, a lot when you are interacting with your teacher in future. If you have any questions, your chat, you can type your question in the chat box. I'll try to answer the question. I hope your face-to-face classes will start next week. We have teachers at all of the campuses, at Riyadh, at Dammam, at Jeddah. Some of the teachers will start taking classes, inshallah, next week face-to-face, but still, I will still deliver the next chapter face-to-face just to make sure that your course is on schedule for those students who have still not got their face-to-face teacher. Inshallah, after Eid, there will be no problem with your face-to-face classes. Many of you may have taken face-to-face classes this week. Many of you will start taking next week. After Eid, inshallah, all of you will be having face-to-face classes. Any other questions? Well, if you have understood the chapter, it is not because the chapter is easy, but because you are very intelligent. and you have given attention, you have focused, and you have understood the concept. So nothing is easy until you put effort. So you have put effort, that is why you have understood. I don't know the midterm schedule. Midterm schedule will be given by the university, and we will follow that schedule. Any other questions? Okay, I hope all of you will have very good time with your own teachers, and I hope all of them will be very good teachers for you. You will not have any problems. If you have any problems, you will be able to discuss with those with me. We will try to sort out those problems. I will also discuss with your teachers if you are facing some kind of problems. I hope all of you will really learn out of it, and you will get a lot of knowledge out of it. Thank you so much, all of you. See you again next week, inshallah. Kindly tell your class fellows as well that now the virtual meeting will be held every week at this time. So kindly convey to your class fellows, classmates, that virtual meeting with me for this course will be held at this time every week, so that they can attend if they want. Allah Hafiz. Thank you so much.